Hello, welcome to this Julio CMMS tutorial. This is an overview on work orders from the administration back end. My name is Opara Eleke. Okay, this is the dashboard and we want to go to the work orders list. You can do that either from the top menu or from the sidebar menu. Let's hit that. Rightly labeled buttons at the top, and by the side the second tab here is filters. You can filter by any of these fields. For example, location. Locations are hierarchically arranged as they occur naturally. You can filter by any other fields. And the third tab is another set of filters. With a few exceptions, the buttons at the top could be used to operate on all selected items at the same time. Each of these action buttons has a tooltip which tells you the function of that button, and up here the GeoActive button tells you the locations of the assets of your active work orders. And generally looking at the interface, you can see you can get the total, and you can hide the side menu. You can then see the total number of items. You can scroll, you can change the limit, you can sort by any field. Okay, let's hit the GeoActive button and have a look at the map. This is the map. There are 4 markers here, which means you have 4 active work orders. You can click on any of them to get a better idea. For example, you can see this is the discrepancy, and this is the default image for this. Each of them shows the default image. And this particular one, okay, this one, this is the default image, this is discrepancy, this is the instruction summary, check the operating RPM of the machine, okay, and so on. So you can see you have a task here, 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 and here. With that, you could plan your route. This is an active map. If they were just 2, it would have shown you something like this. Okay, remember this is test data. Let's go back to the list. Six ways of creating a new work order. First is by clicking on this button. Next is by selecting on a previous work order and using it as a template. Generate work order button. Next is by using a work request and generating a work order from it. This is a work request. You can click on this button, or you can select a work request and generate a work order clicking the button here. Next is by using planned maintenance. You can generate a work order manually from a planned maintenance. A work order could also be automatically generated from a triggered planned maintenance. A PM could be triggered by time or meter reading. A PM is planned, preventive, or scheduled maintenance. Okay, let's create a new work order using the first method. This is work order general tab. You are to name your work order using your naming policy or generate one by clicking on this button. Then what went wrong, discrepancy, what went wrong. For example, something is not working. Then set the location, where did it happen, location and the asset. Let's say Mansfield, and all assets in Mansfield will be displayed. You choose scan to. You can take this offline. Let's do another one. Maybe choose a different location. Let's say the root location. Maybe okay, Woodley. Let's take that offline too. As you can see, it's offline, but you may choose not to use any of these two fields. You can set both location and asset using this button. That brings up this modal window from which you could click on that asset. That sets both the location and the asset. You could also take that asset offline by clicking on that. Let's do that again. This has an additional advantage that you could filter by any of these fields. You could, this is type, location, status, purchase date. You could say from this date, give me assets from this purchase date to this purchase date. You could also do text search. Okay, let's fill out the form. Status active, priority high, type corrective, maintenance, due date tomorrow. That's about that. This is user assignments, and the fields we have are all these. Okay, let's start reported by, let's say SA Samuel Gitung, assigned to these are, you can see this means that everyone here is in this group. Without that, you could have everybody. So we have all these plus all these. You could say give me plumbers. These are plumbers only, but without that we have different kinds of administrator, plumbers, administrator, warehouse technician. So let's go back to electrical engineers, grammar. For group, is this for a group? We have chosen no. If you had said yes, it means you could select the group or groups without everybody in that group will be informed on what is going on with this work order. That is they receive messages. So set it back to no. Send email notification. And we have here other users who may be notified or granted permissions. Let's have a look at that. We can clear this, of course, because we are not using a group. So this is everybody now. What it means, if you choose this, if you select, it means this user, though is not in any group, in the previous group, will, for example, be able to close this work order. Or that is, if you check this, means this user can update the completed field. If you check this, means this user can update priority fields assigned to asset and work order status. That is, if you check this, and so on. And these are notifications. If you check this, means this user will be notified when this field changes. When this field changes, when the work order is completed, this person is going to receive notification. Both internal messages, emails, or if you have that option, SMS. When field confirm changes, that is when it is closed. Notify user when this work order asset is taken online or offline. That is if you check this. Let's play around with this. Let's select all these. Say give you this, give you this, give you this. No particular order. So 5 items selected. Other users, okay. What about the ones in these pages? Let's go to page 4, for example, and select Sanjeev, Svetlana, and select all these. David Williams. Oh, not my David Williams. This is William Davis. Okay. So you can see they are all here, nothing is lost. So let's go back to page 4 and see whether, as you can see, all the ones you selected are here the way, okay. You can see these are all the people involved, and these are their permissions and their okay. So you can clear this without this field. As you can see, it is not required. Without this field, everything will still go fine. You can say clear everything and everything would go. Remember, this is a required field. There must be a leader, even if it's for a group. This is to be the group leader. This is the main person this work order is assigned to. Okay, so let's clear all these. Nothing. Let's go and check. You can see no items selected. Check one item selected. So you see, okay, that's user assignments. Next is tasks. So instructions, summary. This is whatever you have here is what will be displayed on the map. Let's say check oil filters or what could be wrong. Report the color of the smoke. Let's say it'll take you 1 hour. These are recommended steps. Could have as many of them as you like. This could be step 1, step 2, step whatever, XXX. As you can see, step 8, and these tools are these two could be used to be used when you are closing the work order. User, when you are closing the work order, you wouldn't have to copy everything one by one. You could just drag this and drop it here and it will copy. That is if they're exactly the same thing, or you could edit after copying this way, and you could say bam, took me 3 hours instead. You can remove all these. They are not required fields. User, if you want to give specific tasks to particular individuals, this is where you do that. So you can see specific tasks assigned to individuals. We have nothing there right now. Let's have a look at how it goes. So you can see, as usual, we have our search tools here. You can say I'm only looking for so and so type of persons. We give the, let's say 1, 2. This is the task. Task 1 for Agnieszka. Task 1 for Agnieszka, which is the first thing to be done. Let's say next assignment is the second this is to take you 1 hour. This is to take you 1 hour. Let's say we have task 3 for money. This is task 3 and let it take you 1 hour. Let's say the 4th task on this work order may go to, let's say, the same person, and you say task 4 for Agnes, and this is number 4, take you 2 hours. As you can see, there are 5 persons. We have Eleke, and let's say closing task, closing task. Let's say 1 hour, task number 5. Okay. Everything is stored here. If you want to have a look, you can click on this list icon, so you can see everything arranged according to this order. The first task by Agnieszka, second by Luna, second by third by Amani, fourth Agnieszka, fifth Alex. And multi means that Agnieszka has multiple assignments on this work order, and when the work is done, all these ones will come up, will be checked. That is when you check them here. When closing, you add to fill this and check here. So you could use this for recommended steps and this for user tasks, but for our case we don't need them now, so let's clear them. Are there are no items selected. Everything is working fine. Okay, nothing. And the next is parts. What parts do you require? No selected parts. So as usual, you can search for parts. You can search by their location. This location here is the location of the assets that the parts are linked to. And these are the locations. This is also location, but where this part is stored, maybe your warehouse where you keep them. Okay, that's where these two are for. For example, this child locations means get me, for example, this is Paris, main site is in Paris, and East Block is in main site, and West Block, East Block and West Block and main site. So if you say get me Paris means all parts that are registered in Paris will be returned. But if you say exclude child locations, it means parts that are here should not be returned when you are searching for Paris. But if you say include child locations, it means get me all parts that are in Paris and down. Paris. Okay. So, for example, you can say, give this, I checked bearings, I need quantity on hand is -10, negative, not you. That is test data. Okay, quantity on hand is, let's say 5. This is for demonstration. Let's say this is 10. Let's say this is, what will ceiling rows be doing? Generator. Okay. So you can see all the ones you chose. Ceiling rows, both aluminium funnel. That's pass you are recommending. Now when this work order is to be closed, the user will fill the parts used, and if they are the same, you could copy this from here without going to, it's easy, just drag this to this like we did. Just drag this to this if it's the same. Just like that. What this is, all parts used will be removed from the inventory if you click on this. But we are just creating the work order, so no need. And it will even give you an error message if you try it. Okay, let's do that so you see. Can you see? It says error, subtract parts on completion, not on creation. Okay, the same. And after subtracting, if you find out you made a mistake, you could click on this and return the parts that you used. Or if you had already subtracted and they were not used, you could add them back with this. But remember, if you keep on adding and removing, everything is going to be logged here. Okay. So the next tab is images. Here you can drag and drop images. Select, drag and drop. For example, we have all these. Can do something like this. Drag them to this place. You can see they are already here, and it allows you to give a description of each of them. Let's say infrared scanner, depth Delta Woodley electric meters Perkins diesel generator hot water tank brewery. Let's say brewery. When we save, all this will automatically be saved. You can also add other files other than images here. Downloadable files. And the next is you can add all these type of documents: doc, PDF, Excel, PowerPoint. Okay. Then the double advantage that Julio CMMS offers, here you can get it big time. We have content. Okay, links. You can link to external web resources. Let's say HTTP example. Let's say this is for your PPE. Example 2. Let's say government control standards and anything. So with this, if somebody is coming for this, you could go to that URL by just clicking on this. We see the personal protection equipment required to do this work. Then government safety standards or control standards or anything that will be beneficial to the executor of this work order. You could add an external or internal resource here. You can save that and it will always be there. Okay. Then menu item. Julio CMMS is plugged into Joomla for this, in this particular case, and all these are menu items, front menu items that could be associated with this work order. Let's say you have written a lot of articles on this particular equipment or on this particular asset or on this particular vehicle or whatever it is you are managing. All the articles that are written there could be under one menu item, and you could associate that menu item with this work order. The same here. This is category. you may have many articles or articles categories that are written and are hosted on this content management system. You can use this to associate this work order to those article categories. In this case, we have not written anything about what we have here. Remember, you can use this particular work order as a template after saving it. Once you save it, it becomes a template, so you are not going to be refilling all this if you don't like. They will always be there. Anytime a similar problem arises, what you will just do is come over here and say save as new, and it will generate another work order like this one, which this is just one way. Okay, this is for meter readings. You can fill the meter readings here. You can say this is the name of the meter. Say this is reading 211 min 211. Wow. Or flow meter 3.45 or what have you. It's going to be here. And when table of meter readings associated with this work order which had been posted to meter readings table. So you can post this by clicking this post selected meter readings. These are the meter readings. Even if you save them, they are not going to trigger any operation that depends on their values. But when you post them, the system will trigger all actions that are watching on these meters. For example, if there is a preventive maintenance that gets triggered when a particular value is reached, when you post the meter readings here, those PMs will be triggered. Closing. These are the fields you use when you are closing the work order. You can say any unusual discovery. Did you discover anything? Tell me. Main cause of the problem, the solution, completion notes. Okay. What could it be? For example, for fuses burnt in 1 week, main cause inferior substandard fuses, copper wire improvisation, that word, as approved by senior engineer. Months. All supplies from our Savior PSC are to be returned before their warranties. Okay. You know, something like that. Completed. Okay, so log history, permissions. You can check our permissions video. Everything that goes with this work order is logged here, when it's created and everything. Okay, please check all the other videos. You will see one on permissions. A reference is still made on this. So that is it. Thank you.